94XO, it's MonneXo. I'm sitting with musician, actor, and creative Mycol. Make sure you guys stay tuned.
You're watching 94XO.
So go ahead and talk about like your recent album and what inspired it.
My recent album As Above, So Below, it's been amazing. Like honestly, the process of creating it and delivering it to the public and my audience, as well as getting the response and feedback from it. Like literally, I had somebody come through to the listening party and he told me that from after listening to the album and meeting the people who had a hand in creating it, he told me that he can consider having a better relationship with him and his son just based off of first listen.
Wow.
That's the first time I met him. He didn't owe me anything, and like for him to say that to me, it was like, yeah, I'm doing something special.
Now, how did it feel though when it came to putting the album together? Like the whole like thought process, the whole production behind it, like mentally, like how was that for you?
Honestly, making the album, it wasn't as painful as going through it, of course. But it definitely made me revisit a lot of those emotions, those experiences, those memories, where it made me go through a healing process because I was forced to sit down with it and be like, all right, why am I even feeling called to talk about this right now? Why am I feeling called to write about this and tell this story? Because I could be making music about anything. And to speak on like losing my brother and going through what I go through between a divided household between my mother and father and having those thoughts of depression through COVID and things shut down, like I felt like it was only right for me to properly express myself because I couldn't be the only person going through that.
Yeah.
And if I was, I would want to shed a light for somebody else who might go through it. So it was more so a very rejuvenative, a very healing and therapeutic process for me to sit down, write through it, and then be able to come to grips with accepting the story and the truth of it in order to perform it and be so transparent and vulnerable for anybody that comes across and listens to it.
Right, and I'm glad you said transparent and vulnerable because you have a talent and you have the opportunity to talk to other people where people like myself, I can't rap, but I can't really sing, and being able to express yourself for other people to learn how to cope with their own emotions and things that they're dealing with. Like I always say like musicians are just like a gift. Like you guys can do things we can't do, and that's why we love music so much because you're able to express yourself in ways we can't figure out how to do in words. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like you being a creative though, like you being an artist, you being an actor, you doing all these other things, being in a podcast, like how do you find time for yourself? Because when it comes to mental health, like, because right now it's Mental Health Awareness Month, right? So being able to find like that balance and that structure of, oh, I'm trying to speak to all these other people and have my voice be heard, but how do you balance just your own time out, your own sanity?
Right. That's a great question because it's not easy having that balance of like being professional, being prompt, but also being personable, not only in your daily life, but with those relationships and connections and those honestly responsibilities. So for me, it's a fusion because my work is so rooted in what helps the individual on a collective basis. I can learn from myself in my own process. So it's not that I'm trying to deliver something that I'm not going through or that I haven't been through. It's, okay, I put this out, I receive feedback from it, but it's also teaching me, okay, like for example, how I told you earlier about the young man who's dealing with a relationship conflict with him and his son. Well, that's a stepping stone for me to get closer to my father and for me to have those conversations, because it's like, all right, if he going through it and he feels this way just from listening to my album, then why am I exempt? Why am I making this album and I haven't even gotten my father's feedback on how he feel about it?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's more so,
Wow.
it's a reflection piece. It's
Yeah.
like, nah, like just because you're sharing this doesn't mean that you're not still going through it. So for me, it's taking that time to meditate, to breathe, to be with my own thoughts, but also be with God in that internal world of like peace and being able to sit down with my emotions, talk about my emotions, but also have those uncomfortable conversations with myself. So therefore I can have those with other people.
Definitely. Now, you being in the entertainment industry, though, being an actor, being a musician, like, how do you, quote unquote, change those roles? So going from doing music to now being in front of the camera and being this whole other person that you
Right.
have to be, like how
Right.
how do you do that?
It's like a switch. Like I literally been told that I put it on, and it's not even like putting it on. For me, it's like I tap into something like, why am I doing this? Like literally on the drive here, I was like, all right, my energy, like he asked, I'm at a 7 today. I'll be honest, 7 to 8. But sitting here having this conversation with you, it's like naturally talking about things I'm going through and naturally talking about the whole process. Like it allows me time to not only step away, but also be present in a way that I wasn't before. So on the drive here, I was like, all right, you going in here, you feel a type of way, but at the same time, like, why are you doing this? Sit down with yourself and be real. Like, you could be doing anything else in the world right now. Why this?
I like if he's so deep, man. That's so dope. I'm sorry, like that's so dope to me. You actually like think
real.
everything through and
Yeah.
just I love it.
Cause honestly, like for me, if I was coming in here with the wrong energy, I at least want to know why. Instead of just faking like, I'm just gonna put on this smile.
I was like, I was gonna
act
ask
like,
why, what's wrong? What's
yeah,
going
yeah, but it's
on?
like, nah, it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So to answer your question directly, I feel like I'm still learning how to separate those roles, and I'm still learning how to be present in personal and professional.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my best to be like, all right, what's called of me in this moment? Certain emotions or certain experiences I go through might not be called for this moment. So why bring it into it? Instead of me saying I have to be this, it's more so saying be me, but maybe I should maneuver in certain ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You did poetry.
A little bit.
I was like, ooh, I can tell.
Yeah.
But getting back into the conversation, like how
Right.
did those opportunities come about? Like working with David Kirkman and doing all these fun, exciting things.
Well, to speak on like working with incredible people like David Kirkman, that came across, it was very odd. He hit me up. He texted me on Instagram one day. It was like, yeah, bro, somebody sent me your page and I just love your energy and I have this concept idea. I want to create a character with you.
Oh, that's dope.
And I was like, okay, but I mean, I didn't know who he was. Come to find out, he told me about Static Shock that he had did at Tivoli in the Loop. And literally seeing that he had sold that place out for release day, I was like, St. Louis don't sell places out that, like sell places out like that on a local scale. So it made me pay attention like, all right, what's going on here? Did my research and found out like he was really, really advocating for not only black superheroes, but like just black people in general.
Yeah.
And that already resonated with me. So I'm like, okay, let me see what he's talking about. So we set up a call and he just told me about what he was doing with Woke Nation, what he was doing with, you know, what he wants to create this whole universe. And I was like, yeah, I'm feeling this. Not just for one piece, but I wanna be a part of the whole journey. So he brought me in for Icon. And he was like, I want you to have a feel for the crew, how we run things and everything. And when I sat back and watched everything behind the scenes, like you saw a movie unfold. Like because I was in a short film with John Alexander and that just came from me supporting Capshawn. And I hit him up and I was like, if you guys need anything, just let me know. I'm willing to help. One day he hit me up on the day they were filming and like, bro, we need an extra. You willing to come through? I came through and that was a highlight reel I ended up sending to David Kirkman.
Wow.
So literally for me just being helpful, it just kind of like spiraled into somebody else just naturally feeling my energy like from a show I had or something like that. And he was like, I just feel like your energy could be good for this character.
I was saying that's an example of good energy really gets
Facts.
you to places that you're supposed to be at. So yeah, that's so dope. Like also having the opportunity to have like your music in there as well.
Yeah.
Like so being an actor, having your music, combining the two, like that's super cool.
I want to add value in every room I'm in because honestly, I feel like that's how we all can be better together.
Yeah, let's say put St. Louis on the map.
Come on.
So what do you have coming up right now that you're working on? Like you just released your album, but I'm sure like you've been working on some things at home.
So my brand D-Links, we're actually doing something very similar to this, where we want to highlight local brands and businesses just to provide another avenue for people to tell their story.
Yeah.
And so with that, I've been working on building clientele, building a rapport with a lot of my crew members in order for us to tell the best story possible. So we're working on the kinks of, all right, what's our work process like? How our scheduling look like? What are the type of people that we want to highlight and why? You know what I'm saying? As well as on the album note, we're also working on a challenge coming up. So very, very soon I'll be releasing a challenge called On My Mama Challenge.
Is it gonna be on TikTok?
It's gonna be on TikTok, Instagram. It's gonna be on everything, and it's basically gonna be an opportunity for artists, singers, dancers, poets to speak their piece over a song on the album called "On My Mama." It's about 30 seconds. It's an open verse, and I want them to just release what they're going through, because we all got a mama. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we all have that hustle mentality of St. Louis. So let's speak our piece on it. Let's galvanize over something that can push us through, because it's about to get cold again.
Oh,
And when it
right.
get
We all got
cold,
to be on the phone.
you hear me? So
internet,
I
all
wanted
that.
to have something special just to, connect with the community, as well as some music videos. Definitely working on something very special and just putting together visuals, not only to help tell a better story of who I am, yet also the album and why it's so important to experience this. Yeah.
Now, we didn't get to really talk about this in the beginning, but before we wrap up into the Close Ray Jar segment, I want to, how do you inspire, and what are things that you want to do to help build the youth in the community and help them benefit them and whatnot?
Honestly, I feel like different ways of providing those avenues of you can explore yourself through music. You can explore yourself through artistry, through podcasting, through seeing these businesses and actually seeing the highlights of them. Like literally, we're working with a farmer and we're seeing whole process of how she gives away free veggies every Tuesday, growing food, growing people.
Yeah.
And also working with a local company here called Susan's Natural Spring Waters, where she actually is pulling water from a locally sourced farm from a well. And she has a whole facility in her backyard. So being able to not only touch them on the health base, but also the spiritual and the mental base, in order to create yourself and create experiences that not only uplift you, but uplift the people around you.
Yeah, I love it. And I said, you being able to, like you said, working on those projects to help tell us about all these different businesses that are around, all these different brands, and just, like you said, helping the community and making us all be one, and that's something that myself, I love to do, especially in St. Louis, and being able to have the opportunity to show, we are, a good city. We're dope,
Come on, we got a lot to offer.
Yes, a lot to offer. So before we wrap up into this segment, how can people follow you? How can they buy or stream your album? How can they book you? All that.
So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at MyColVYNN. It's Mycol Vin. You can also visit the website www.dlinks.space, where you can purchase the album. We'll have some merch on there very soon, as well as different opportunities if you want to book me. There's contact information at the bottom of the page as well. And you can also hit me at my email. That's dlinks, DLINXLLC@gmail.com.
That's how you got it all together. I
Yes,
love
yes,
it. That's
come
how
on.
you're supposed to have
Come
it.
on.
Okay.
So
All
I'm
right.
picking one of these.
So you're going to pick three.
3 of them.
You're going to
Okay.
pick three.
Did I read them out? Just pick all 3 first.
Nah, you do it however you want to do it. Because you're going to answer all of them anyway.
Okay. Sheesh.
He trying to see which one to pick first.
Okay.
Which one should I read first?
Right. Let me see here. All right, so we got 87, 18, and 78.
Those numbers don't mean nothing.
I didn't know if they did. I'm reading my order though.
I'm hollering.
The first one was, when is the last time you really laughed out loud?
Just now.
Right. When the last time I laughed out loud? Honestly, I watched this show on Netflix called You.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have to start it all the way over.
Season 1?
Yeah, because I watched 3 episodes, 2 or 3 episodes, I don't remember, and I just fell off.
Yeah.
It was kind of scary to me.
It's intense.
Yeah, so, but I heard the last season was bad. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know if it's true or not, but
I say it starts off slow, but once because I'm a binge watcher, so once you get to the end, you like, damn. It really hit the fan.
Well, I want to know what you laughed at.
Nah,
You
never
can't tell me
mind.
that.
Never mind. I'm gonna leave it alone. I ain't gonna spoil nothing. What makes you lose track of time?
Ooh.
Getting tunnel vision in a project.
Ooh.
I could be editing something, I could be working on a track, writing, or even in the studio, just so focused on, all right, what we creating here. I can be 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, I'm just working.
Hey, that's a lot for a creative.
Yeah.
That's something I have learned in the past year. Your best work is at 2, 3 in the morning.
Facts.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a process, and being able to still be focused and prioritizing your time and everything.
Yeah, and getting some sleep.
You hear me?
Yes.
87, why do you do what you do?
Dang.
That's a good question. That's
That is a good question.
I do what I do because I don't have no other options. Like it's Mycol, MYCOL, master yourself on life down to the cellular level. So I don't have any other options but to be me and do everything I'm meant to do. That's my answer.
This poet. I love him. I can't even say nothing back to that. Oh my goodness. No, but you are really like an inspiration just to go through and have you professionally like send your story over to me and see like all the accomplishments you have. Like I wish you nothing but the best. Like I
Thank
see
you.
you doing a lot of amazing things. Your professionalism.
Thank you.
So dope. Like
Thank
I'm
you.
excited for you. So thank you so much for spending some time with me. I'm MonneXo and we're out. Be easy.
It's your girl MonneXo, and you just finished a 94XO interview. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to our YouTube channel, and follow us on social media platforms. Be easy.